So you're vaccinated and you want to know if this means now the world is your oyster and you can go anywhere you want. Well, mm, not quite. We'll be talking today about what you can do now that you're fully vaccinated in this current time, which is March 2021. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so you are so excited, you've gotten vaccinated, and now you want to know where are all the cool places you can go. Well, I hate to say it, but the world hasn't caught up with you quite yet. It's coming. It's just not quite there. So today we're going to be talking about for everybody who is currently vaccinated, which I think is a third of the country at this moment, which is right now is March 2021. I want to tell you about some of the things you can do and some of the things you can't do quite yet so that you can plan your next vacation for this summer, this fall, this Christmas, and know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, I got this information from an article from the Condé Nast Traveler, and what they want to pass on, there's just three main things we want to pass on for everybody who is vaccinated. The first, and probably not super popular thought, is just because you are fully vaccinated does not mean you have a free pass to travel, unfortunately. There are still several countries, in fact, most countries, that have not created a protocol with regard to vaccinated individuals. The key thing to know with that is technically, even though you're vaccinated, you could still get COVID. You just likely will not be hospitalized. It won't be severe, but because you can get it, I'm not sure what the statistics are of you also spreading it, but because of that, it's not necessarily a blank check, so to speak. It's not that you can go anywhere and everything's fine and hunky dory. So it's not a free pass, unfortunately. However, take a peek at my last video, which I will link somewhere up here, and it covers some of the countries that are allowing Americans in. There currently is not any specific vaccinated protocol, but they do allow Americans in with some negative COVID tests and such. I expect that to be changing, so stay tuned. But at the current moment, they aren't really acknowledging the vaccinated. They are mostly wanting to get those negative COVID tests before you can enter their countries. Right, so that's number one. It's not a free pass to travel, unfortunately. Number two is everywhere you want to go, including where you live, where you are now. Even though you're vaccinated, you still have to comply with their regulations and their requirements. You still likely will need to wear a mask almost everywhere. I mean, I know some states are opening up, but a lot of places are still requiring masks in public. Some places might have curfews. Some places might have specific restrictions. Which are blanket whether you've been vaccinated or not. So always be sure to check the area you're going, and just remember you need to comply with whatever their regulations are at the time that you're traveling. And then last and final, number three is domestic, meaning American, and I'm assuming probably Canadian travel will probably bounce back first, including European travel. Because of their vaccination rates, will likely bounce back the quickest. We're not there quite yet, but hopefully, theoretically, the experts are saying they should bounce back the quickest. However, if you are planning to travel to the EU this summer, this spring break, this fall, it's probably not the best year to plan a multi-country trip. Chances are it would be better just to pick one country and go to it. That way you only have to deal with one country's requirements, recommendations, testing, and everything that is involved. When you do a multi-trip, when every country is entirely different in what they require and what their restrictions are, it's just going to complicate matters. So my recommendation, and obviously you're free to do whatever you want to do, but my recommendation this year is if you are traveling abroad, try to keep it to just one country this year, or one country, let's say one country per vacation. If you're going to take multiple vacations, do one country per vacation. That way it just simplifies the logistics and you'll be able to get a better handle on what the requirements are and not have to worry about, okay, well, you're American, but you're coming from Europe or from France and you're going to Italy. So what are the French requirements as well as the American requirements to get to? You see what I mean? So it'll just be easier if you just pick one country at a time when you travel. And as I said before, not many countries have specific protocols for vaccinated individuals. So at the moment, you will likely need to have negative COVID tests before you travel. But again, check ahead with your country, because as more people in the world get vaccinated, I'm assuming, going to start having specific protocols for vaccinated individuals. But as of right now, you being vaccinated isn't really changing much. You still have to have your negative test and still wear a mask and all of those things. All right, so that was short and sweet, but I'm hoping that helps. If you've been vaccinated, help you to get a little bit of an idea of what you might be looking at as far as travel this year. Unfortunately, it's not a real definitive because things are, as you know, always changing. So be sure any place that you're interested in going, check ahead to their visitors bureau. If you just Google their visitors bureau, they should be able to give you all the details regarding COVID and what would be required for you to enter, if you're allowed to enter or not. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, if you'd like to learn more about travel, their destinations, or how to save money, or how to plan travel, or COVID related information, please go ahead and take a look at these videos here. And other than that, I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.